Hey my friends from YouTube, this is Gladys from Gladys Garden, or Heart of a Gypsy. I come to you today because I want to share some information. Actually I have some techniques that I think you would like or appreciate. I love techniques, especially when you, I'm sure I'm not the first one to discover this, but when it kind of makes sense in your head and suddenly you have this flash of light in your brain and you go, huh, I can do it that way. And you save some money, and it still looks good. It doesn't really look, homemade, those two words. It really looks like you bought them at the store, but I didn't. So let's talk about tags today. I love tags, and I'm sure a lot of you love them because I can spend hours and hours watching videos on tags, and none of them are alike. My style really is very vintage, but it's really popular to be vintage right now. I understand that. That's nothing so unique. I like the very grunge look myself, although lately I kind of been bitten by the shabby chic look. I love it too, but I'm not sure if I can totally identify myself with it, but I do love it, and I do appreciate it. It has the Edwardian, Victorian look and feel to it, and the whiteness and all that just makes it spacious, and I don't know, it makes me feel good. But I really like to mug things up, so I like the grunge look. So I want to talk to you about tags. These are, the two sizes. Let me move this from the bottom. They'll be most of us use, right? This is the very, very large. Let me get my measurement or my ruler, and I'll tell you it is. So this is 4 by 8, which I think is the largest that they sell, that you can buy already pre-made. And then this other one, which is like your normal. See, I was calling this a large. Obviously, I'm wrong. The other one is a larger. But I think this is the one that we use the most. And that would be, it's about 3 1/8 by 6 1/4. I think this is the size that we used, most of us, when we do things with tags. I know I just went through a tag swap at Scrapping Divas, a group it's a close group that I belong to, this is the size I use, when I did my tags for her, and then she sent me all these big ones, and I kind of felt bad afterwards, although I did send her other good stuff, but I felt really bad because I thought we had mediums, or maybe I just didn't understand the size, but this is a very, very big one. Okay, so, but we all know how much they cost. I don't think they're really that cheap. I don't know. I haven't bought this one. In fact, this friend of mine that I was able to exchange or have a swap, she said she was going to get some for me, so I'm going to, pay her for that. But I'm thinking to myself, when I buy this one, they're really not that cheap. I use a lot of them in my classes, in a class setting when I teach a class. And in my products, if you've seen them, I load them up with tags. So it can really get the price going on your project if you're, put a lot. I like to put loads of them. So I'm thinking, how can I make that, and again, they still look professional and not, cheapy look homemade. I've made a lot of the ones that I've made myself, and they're okay, but they still had the little factor that you could tell that I got the paper myself. So anyways, I did something different with this. So I had this too, and I said, well, let me try it. And I know this is a very heavy cardstock that they use. I don't know where to buy this. The paper, the sheets of paper, I don't know where to get this. And then I like the look of this brown thing. It just makes it look really good. Well, I'm going to show you something else right now, and then you tell me if it is any different. Okay, give me just a second here. Let me get one of these. Alright, so tell me which one is the one that I bought, or is store-bought and the other one is not. I think they look the same to me. Even the color is alike. Well, this one right here I made, and this is the one that is bought from the store. So let's put that aside. This big tag right here, I made them myself, and I was able to get a bunch of them. And what I used was just regular manila folders. Number one, they have a nice color, a yellowish color that we like for tags. I also use the craft color or in texture tags, I'm not as fan of them as I am of this color, but these ones are a little bit more expensive too. So what I do with this ones, I'll pace you through with the things I do. So you get any you know, these envelopes, I buy them by the box because I think I paid like, I can't remember if it's almost 5 or almost 6 that I buy the whole box of them. I don't remember how much there is and how many folders are in the box, but I know there's a lot, and that's really good. So I'll tell you how to do this. Any envelope. So you start, I measured with the envelope already or the file already folded. I don't do anything with it, just keep it the way it is. And I measured to 8. And then depending whether you are using the, you know, bottom or top or bottom tab or the middle tab, I'm not even paying attention to that. I'm just going to measure from the folding part all the way to this. I'm going to measure 8. Put my thing, in this case, my cutter, and you know, this is, we're going to disregard this. And I think on this one I had a, let me see if you can see this. Let me move this so you can see a little, whoops, that little corner right there. It, you know, it was just a little extra. Don't worry about that. So what I'm going to use, I'm going to start cutting on this end right here, so I don't have to use that, and you know, by mistake being able to not look okay. But even if that was the case that I started cutting here to make my tag, you still have to do the angle cutting, so it's not going to interrupt anything. So again, regular fold, you measure to 8, it's right there, and then cut. Then I'm going to switch it and going to cut 4s by 4. So this already gave me 2 tags right here. They're still together, but you know, we're going to separate them later. And then another one, and this leaves you with a I think it's a 3 3/4 piece. We're still going to utilize this, okay? So at this point I would use that, and I'm going to move this away. I am going to use the regular tag that, you know, you have from the store, and I'm going to put, because it's exactly that measurement, and this is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to nip according to the pattern that I have on the bottom. It's kind of hard to see on camera, but I think you understand what I mean, the little corner thing. And then I'm going to use my hole puncher. It's Fiskars, but I do not know the measurements, but I know it's the purple handle. It's the one that is, it's the biggest hole I think they have. And I'm just going to, you can also, you know, put a little note or a little pencil marking or anything like that. You can do it. So at this point, you know, still like that, which in another segment of my techniques, we'll talk about how we can utilize them this way. But for today's technique tutorial, we'll just cut them. Okay, so out of one folder, I ended up with 1, 2, 3, 4 large ones, and now you're going to see the medium ones. These medium ones, remember, they're 3 3/4. I am going to make them 6. I'm going to snip that a little bit here, so I can make sure that little corner that we talked about before doesn't show up. So I'll turn this, the one is, you know, turn around the tag, and I go to 6, and then I measure and cut. So here gives me 2 of the medium ones. They may not be exactly like the other ones, but they still work. So we ended up with all of them, this little thing, okay? I'm not throwing this away. I'm still going to turn this into little tags because we can use them to just about anything. And this one is going to go through 3 1/2. Okay? And again, I'm going to do this. And this, you know, I'm just gonna play it by ear here a little bit. So there you go. But they're still together. So I'm going to cut them at this point. Okay, so there's my 2 little ones. So here it tells you